Morning to you. Welcome to our Thursday edition of the Art Lewis Show. After the 10 o'clock news, we're going to talk to the executive director of the Tobacco Law Enforcement Network. He is Rich Marianos, I'm sorry. And then we'll have open phones after that at 11 o'clock. Ken Buck from Buck Insurance. But for this hour, open phones. Whatever you'd like to chat about. 989-752-6111. And we'll get the conversation going this morning. So give us a call. A couple of things pulled out of the news yesterday. A federal judge has sided with Enbridge, the Canadian company that operates Line 5 through the Straits. Back in 2020, Governor Gretchen Whitmer tried to revoke Enbridge's 1953 easement allowing the company to operate Line 5. Well, a federal judge yesterday ruled against the state, saying that the Supremacy Clause of the U.S. Constitution asserts that federal authority overrides conflicting state laws, and interstate pipelines are regulated under the Federal Pipeline Safety Act of 1992. And also, part of that ruling had to do with foreign affairs, because obviously the flow of the oil and gas from Enbridge in Canada into the United States is a foreign affair. It's a flow of hydrocarbons between Canada and the U.S., and this goes back to 1977 when they signed a treaty. So as of right now, the state of Michigan is enjoined from causing Enbridge to stop the use of Line 5. I'm not surprised. I've always thought it was an international and federal issue and not a state issue. The judge also acknowledged, and he's right, that if there were to be damage to that pipeline that released the flow of oil and gas, it would do tremendous damage to the Great Lakes. But his ruling wasn't based on whether there was a potential for damage or not. His ruling is based on who has the authority to issue the permits or cancel the permits. And his ruling was that the federal government has that authority. Not a surprise. So, for now anyway, Line 5 continues. It's actually a twin line under the Straits. One carries gas, one carries oil, and they merge. They split going in and merge coming out. And it is an important transit line of energy used not only in Ontario but in Michigan too. They move 23 million gallons of oil and natural gas liquids per day through the Upper Peninsula, and then, of course, under the Straits into the Lower Peninsula. And Enbridge is not without dirty hands in this. I mean, they've had oil spills. They've had several that have cost them a lot of money to mitigate. But we're at the point now where they are waiting for approval to start their tunnel, which would encase the lines totally to prevent any potential catastrophe if one of those lines were to breach. So for now, anyway, the state is enjoined from doing anything. They are considering whether to appeal. And I would expect the state probably would try to appeal. I don't know that they'll do any better in a panel court than they did in a single judge court, but who knows? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, Line 5 is still out there operating, providing energy to the Midwest. couple other stories I pulled down. A couple of stories on Social Security. There's been a lot of talk, because the president had said he wanted to get rid of tax on Social Security as well as tipped income and other overtime income. In the end, they did not eliminate tax on your Social Security. If you make over a certain income and your tax bracket is high enough, you will pay Social Security tax. What they did do was put in an additional $6,000 deduction for seniors, but it's dependent on your income. Once you cross a threshold of 70 some odd $1,000, it begins to reduce. And so it depends how big your Social Security payments are as to whether or not that deduction is enough to cover the taxes you would pay on your Social Security. And I'll tell you what, here we are with 2 weeks left of the year. If you have any questions about your taxes, I would seek out one of the experts in the tax world, or your CPA if you have one, or one of the many tax preparers out there, and ask some questions so you're not surprised when you fill out your taxes. Because it could be a shock to some people. Let's say hello to Carol in Sheridan. Carol, good morning.
Good morning on a nice rainy morning in winter.
Yeah, we got a little weather here too, so.
Gonna have a little slop.
Yeah.
There's no amount of money that's ever going to pay if Enbridge, if these lines leak. There's just no amount of money that the straits in the area and the tourism is ever going to, make it up. What I was wondering is, you told me you was going to find out Mr. Trump on how much money he paid for his income tax and for his taxes. And now today they said something he was about to earn a couple more $1 billion. And I'm just kind of wondering
how is he earning a couple of more billion?
Didn't you just hear it? You didn't listen to the news then, right?
No, I didn't. But was it him or was it his family or his business?
Yeah, it's some of the businesses. But
okay, so he doesn't get it.
He owns 50% of some thing that nobody knows anything about, that he's going to make a few more billion. But you told me like in September or April, and then you said it would be maybe July that you'd tell me how much
I still haven't found out.
No, and I don't think anybody else has, do you?
I haven't heard, let's put it that way.
How come?
Don't know. Let me see.
That should be a pretty piece of change that he pays, and it might even pay for his ballroom that nobody wanted.
Well, don't say nobody. A lot of people actually did.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of administrations over history have talked about adding some kind of a ballroom so they could have a bigger place for state dinners and things. And if he's having it paid for by outside money, okay. Let's see here. This is from 2022. That goes back a ways. That's the last one.
And how much was that?
I'm looking to see. I'm looking to see. I don't see it on here.
You aren't going to either, are you? It's nice to know that all these people that stick up so much for him, if they say one bad word about him, he's going to just chew them up and spit them out like he does anybody else that criticizes him at all. It's kind of a dirty deal. And did you hear what he put on the nice plaques that he put under Obama and all of his friends, the plaques that he put under the pictures? And all this gold, you know how dirty it is to mine gold, all this tacky gold all over? You think he's going to take it with him when he leaves? I'm sure he will.
Well, I don't know about that. There are certain laws that prevent certain things from happening along those lines.
Well,
but I'm not a fan of a lot of the stuff he does.
I
so
know you
I'm not
don't
going to
like
sit
the
here.
man. You like his what he's done.
I like some of his policies, but I never liked the man. So that's who I am,
Yeah,
and that isn't going to change.
Unless he does something really good, right?
Well, I mean, if he does something really good, then everybody ought to be applauding him. But that won't happen because he could have prices come down to 20% of what they are now, and his opposition won't give him credit for it. Let's be honest about that now. Let's be honest that there are people, no matter what Trump does, is no good. Whether it's good or not, it's no good.
Mm-hmm.
He does have that kind of opposition, and he evokes that kind of reaction to him.
Mm-hmm.
But I am so frustrated with politics today that it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I shut it off when I don't listen to your show anymore. I don't listen to very.
Well, we don't do that much though. We've cut way back on some of that,
Well, it's a good thing. Well, I don't listen to your station that much anyway. I can't stand all that other garbage you have on. So, Maine Cabot Masters and Chop and some of these, they have some pretty cool. They have some pretty cool stuff. So I listen to a lot of Magnolia and Network.
Okay.
And I'm so glad it wasn't ruined either. Well, you take care.
All right.
And when you find out, you send me a personal note on how many taxes
okay.
you pay.
Merry Christmas, Carol.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Bye bye.
Same to you. Bye bye. All right, 9:22. Everybody's got listen. There's one thing you can say about Donald Trump. He evokes an emotional response from people, positive, negative, whatever you want to feel about him. He really knows how to provoke that response. We're going to take a break. Lines open for you here on the Art Lewis Show.
This week, it's a year. This is a test of the emergency.
All right, we're back with you and back to our phones. Carl's in Saginaw. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Art. Before I forget, best of the season. Happy Hanukkah to you and your family.
Thank you.
I hate to see it rain today. I would rather, this time of year, I'd rather have the temperature about 25 degrees, not sub-zero, but not above freezing. I just
You want winter, in other words.
This time. Well, I don't like slush.
Yes, I understand.
With this, so I would just as soon have it a little colder than this.
I would, in a way, I kind of agree in a way because this morning we had some rain falling, and we had some black ice in our parking lot in the back. It was slippery.
Yeah, and you don't see you
don't see it. No, you don't see it.
Yeah, you think well, it's warm out, it's not going to be icy, and then you step out. And
whoops.
You find out. Yeah. Last night, President Trump gave a speech, fine time. He talked about the economy. He says he rates the economy as A+++.
I got to tell you,
there's a lot of.
I got to tell you, I did not watch it because I kind of guessed what he was going to say, and after reading some reports this morning, I was right. So I didn't miss anything.
Well, on one hand, he's saying the economy is the best ever, but on the other hand, he's saying it's all Joe Biden's fault. If there's any problems, it's not his fault. And, and he was talking, one of the things he said was like, he's going to bring down drug prices 500%. That's just not possible. That means they would be paying you to take drugs.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Unemployment rate is up. Inflation is not going down.
And in the
I don't know.
end, here's the bottom line. All right, the bottom line is,
okay.
And I've said this before. I figure he has until probably end of March, April, to make inroads in the economy so that we see the difference. Now, we've seen it in some places. Gasoline prices are way down, and there are things that are down, and there are other things that aren't, and you've pointed those out. But
Yes.
What happens in the spring will impact what happens in the midterms. And that's why
talking about like the first quarter. Things are going to explode in the first quarter next
good.
year.
And if they do, wonderful. And if they don't, he'll be held accountable for it because the midterms will be the payoff. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. He can say what he wants. Any politician, and they all do, say what they want. Bringing it to reality is a whole nother world. And, and you pay the price if you don't deliver.
Well, if you tell people, prices are down and this is the best economy we've ever had and we should be thanking him. And then people go to the grocery store or they pay their electric bill or their insurance bill.
None of that makes a bit of difference today. It will in the spring when people start thinking about the midterms.
Well, yeah, it's just in this country, whether right or wrong, we don't give politicians or presidents, like 10 years to enact their plan. They have to show results.
That's what I just said, isn't it? That's what I said. He's got till spring to show results.
And I don't know. I would not want to be a Republican running in Congress, in the midterm.
Well, let's just a minute there. Let's also think of this. If you live in a Republican district, you're going to win. It's funny how I shouldn't say we all, that's too big a broad brush, but a lot of people will tell you how bad Congress is and how bad all those politicians are. Oh, but not my guy. When I go to the polls, I'll vote for my guy because he's okay, or my gal.
People like incumbents.
Well, people like incumbents. People like people who think like they do. If you live in an area where,
but in the purple districts.
Purple districts are where it is made or lost. And Michigan has become purple.
Yes. And there, there's a handful of states, and I think the congressmen in those areas, there are areas where they only won by a few points when Trump won.
Yep.
And now, they're seeing how far he is underwater.
I'm going to give you one piece of advice. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Times change, people's thoughts change, and votes change. It's way too early.
When people get fed up.
Yep, that's right. But
you said when people get fed up, they make a change.
Well, the question now is, are they fed up? Now, at least some of the polls, his national approval rating on the economy is not good. It's like 38% right now.
Uh-huh.
But again, I said, wait until April or May or in that period of time, because that's when people will start hearing all the candidates spout off and all of that stuff. That's when decisions will start to be made. And remember this, the American voter is fickle. They change their mind at the drop of a hat.
Yes, and if they don't see results soon, they're going to want.
Yeah, well, you can say that over and over and over again, but that's what I've said, so it doesn't change anything. All right.
All right.
Got to run. Take care.
Thanks,
Carl.
Art.
Bye-bye now.
Happy holidays.
Same to you. And let us talk about tires. There's a change of subject for you. How about, are there winter tires versus the tires you drive on every day, your year-round tire? Is that the best tire for winter driving? The answer may be no, because winter tires actually are different. And if you want to hear about it, Quick Lane Freeland is where you might consider getting your tires, because they sell all their tires for just $5 over cost. And I've asked John from Quick Lane Freeland to explain the difference. What is a winter tire?
Hello, Art. Yes, winter tires are made with a pliable rubber compound that includes silica to stay flexible and maintain grip in freezing temperatures. Unlike harder all-season tires, which stiffen and lose traction in the cold, this flexible compound allows the tire to better conform to the road surface, providing superior grip and traction on snow and ice to keep you safe.
Thanks, John. Stop in today to Quick Lane Freeland. Have them check your tires. While you're there, have them check your cooling system, too, because, you know, in winter, that's an important part of your vehicle's fluids. While also there, why don't you walk over to the McDonald lot and take a look at all the new Ford cars that are waiting for you. Ford's cars, SUVs, trucks, they've got them all, and they also have a wonderful pre-owned lot with some wonderful vehicles for any price range. It's all happening at Quick Lane Freeland and McDonald Ford, wishing you and yours a very, very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday season to all of you. McDonald Ford, Quick Lane Freeland, two names standing ready to help with all your automotive needs.
Pat's Food Center in Freeland has a
Hi, back with you here at WSUW. Read a story that confirms what I've said for a long time when it comes to government benefits. We each have two hands, and when it comes to benefits, we take the one hand and we face it palm up and say, grease my palm, put the money there, government. But the other hand, which represents taxes, is a closed, tight fist that won't take money out of the pocket to give the government to pay those benefits. Well, there's been a recent survey on Social Security, which there are a variety of projections as to when it's going to have to make adjustments and things. But one of the projections was that you might lose 20% of your benefits by 2033 unless Congress does something to, ensure the finances of Social Security. There was a survey done, and according to this survey, and I'll just read this from an article that I pulled down, to keep Social Security, 53% of Americans under the age of 30 say they'd rather cut benefits for current retirees than pay more taxes to help keep benefits intact. That's according to a survey of 2,000 adults by the libertarian think tank Cato Institute. In contrast, 89% of seniors aged 65 and older say younger workers should pay higher taxes to keep current retirees' benefits steady. And And according to some of the folks who did this poll, there are simply no good options on the table. Here's my thoughts on it. And I have said this many, many, many times. No matter the solution, and let's take that 2033 timetable. So this is, let's say that's eight and a half years down the road, whenever. I do not believe, no matter what Congress comes up with, that they will reduce the benefits of current beneficiaries, current recipients of Social Security. Why do I say that? I say that because they represent a huge voting bloc. And if you don't think that matters when it comes to Congress making some decisions, think again. Now, what will the benefits look like for the up-and-coming generation? It's hard to say. I don't know. Will they be the same as they are today? Probably not. But I do not believe that Congress will do anything to impact those who receive Social Security. And as someone who receives Social Security, and I have to tell you that I understand to some degree why it's going broke, because I waited until I was 70 to take Social Security, so I get the bigger dollars. It was never meant to give me a retirement, but if I were to stop work today and have no other visible means of income, I would do very nicely, because it's a number that it shouldn't be. In all reality, it was never designed to be a retirement. It was designed to be a safety net to help you along. But for many people, it's their sole income in retirement, and if they've taken it at the retirement age when they were allowed to, it's not a huge number. They're living on limited income, mostly below the poverty line. But again, I don't see it changing for any of us who are receiving Social Security today. What comes tomorrow, that could be a different story. One of the things that has to be done is the actuarial table has to be updated. We way outlive what Social Security was designed to do. And also at the time when Social Security came along, there were like 10 people contributing for every one taking it. Now it's like 1 to 1, and it's going down. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Come back. We'll get to Mark up next here on the Art Lewis Show.
Did you know most people with a history
And we're back with you and back to our phones. Mark is in Midland. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
I'm good.
Hey, my take on the social programs, I don't have a problem with unemployment, Social Security, and food benefits, SNAPs, and stuff like that. I have the problem with the rapid fraud that's out there. The North Star state of Minnesota is showing light on that with the Somalians and so forth taking government benefits that I have paid taxes into. Those programs can't maintain themselves when there's rapid fraud like that. It makes those programs dissolve, and then people who really need it can't get it. But you never see accountability. And when you do see them uncover stuff, it says it's not happening. Then a week later, very few people. And then 2 weeks later,
Yeah.
it should happen. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand.
I'm waiting